So I've just arrived in the city of Edinburgh and I'm about to spend 24 hours here with only £50, and that's to pay for my food, my travel around the city and entertainment. So is that enough to see the sights and have a good time in Edinburgh, or will I run out of money and be stranded here? Let's go explore Edinburgh and find out. So my first activity is on TripAdvisor's top things to do in Edinburgh. It's steeped in Scottish history and I think it's going to be pretty interesting to visit. Let's make our way over there. And here it is, the National Museum of Scotland. It's got exhibitions from world cultures, science and nature, and Scottish history. Let's head in and check it out. And I've made it in. Entry is free. Let's go explore. This room is just the entrance, and if it's anything to go by, the rest of it should be amazing. So I thought the entrance was impressive, but this is on a whole nother level. I've managed to get a map and it tells you what's on each floor, and it looks like there's 7 in total. I think this must be the natural history section. And this must be the technology section. The Scotland section. Let's head up to the roof terrace. The views from up here are pretty amazing. What a great museum that is. There's so much to see in there, from the transport section to the technology and natural history. And even the entrance is great too. So that museum was free, so no budget spent. Let's go get some lunch. For lunch, I decided to go to a place called the Global Deli. It's a really narrow cafe situated right in the middle of the high street. It serves the cafe usuals like sandwiches, wraps, salads and drinks, some of which look really tasty. The menu is a good size with a lot of options available. I went with a ham and cheese panini and a bottle of water. Now this panini, I have to say, was delicious. Toasted nicely on the outside, it was crunchy, the cheese was really flavourful, there might have even been 2 types of cheese in there. The ham, that was not the usual kind. You could tell this was a better quality one as it actually had a meaty texture and a good chew. It was a great panini.
What an amazing lunch that was. The ham and the cheese was delicious. So the total cost of that meal was £7.70. And if you take that away from my £50 budget, it leaves me with £42.30. Right, let's go do my next activity. It's the #1 attraction in Edinburgh and it's going to cost a bit of money. Let's make our way there. I guess it's sold out, so I'll have to do it tomorrow morning. There is something else I can do today though. The Royal Mile.
So the Royal Mile is a series of streets that lead from the Edinburgh Castle to the Palace of Holyrood House. It gets its name as this is the route monarchs used to take when travelling from one place to the other. The streets are lined with old historic buildings with stunning architecture that go back to an older time. Now, most of the buildings are occupied with modern shops and cafes. Nevertheless, it's a good walk and you get to see some great buildings along the way.
I can't see the end, but we'll see it through.
And I've made it to the end of the Royal Mile, which leads to the Palace of Holyrood House, just behind me there. Right, I think it's time to check into my hotel. So let's go find it, I'll give you a room tour and I'll tell you how much I paid.
Fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight. Love the world.
The Balmoral, that's not it, but I wish it was. It's down this nice little street. I'm quite looking forward to seeing what it's like. And here it is, the Royal Scots Club, Edinburgh. Let's go check in, I'll give you a room tour and I'll tell you how much I paid for it. Right, I'm all checked in, I've got my room key, let's go find my room. I'm in number 30, which is downstairs. It kind of feels like I've got the basement room down here and we're all the way at the end, right here. Right, so this is my room for tonight. Let me give you a room tour. So we have a nice big double bed with some nice colour coded cushions on there. And this does look like a great comfy bed actually. Got some great bedside tables and lamps, really fancy design. A couple of chairs and a table, some cool artwork on the walls. And then on this side we have a TV, we have a coffee machine, but where are the cups? And they're down here. So there's the tea and coffee making facilities, and I think I'm definitely going to be using that coffee machine later on. Got a mirror and a wardrobe. Let's have a look in here. And check that out, we've got some bathrobes. Really nice. And a fan and a safe. Let's have a look at the bathroom. So this is the bathroom. Got a nice shower on this side. Looks really nice and sparkling clean. And then we have the toilet and bath. And the sink on this side with a mirror. There is something else also in my room, which is a little bit scary, or maybe not scary, but a random door. You do get an ironing board and slippers. Slippers are cool, but this door doesn't open, and I don't know where that leads. But let's have a look at the view outside. I did say this was a basement room, so I'm not really hopeful for the view. Let's check it out. It's not much of a view. I've also discovered you get biscuits. Get a Belgian chocolate one and a ginger one. I hope these are complimentary because I'm having them.
So I paid £145 for this room. Do you think that was worth it or not? Comment down below. Right, it's now time for dinner and I still have £42.30 left of my budget. But I can't spend it all because I need to save some for the Edinburgh Castle and breakfast tomorrow. So I can't use all my money. Let's go see if we can find somewhere nice to eat. So I decided to go to a place called Tortilla in the St James's Quarter shopping centre. The prices were displayed on the outside and looked very decent. I went for the large burrito because after the day I've had today walking, I needed it. I also got a Diet Coke as well. The burrito was huge and it works like Subway where you get to choose your own fillings. I went for some rice, pinto beans, chicken and some salsa. The burrito was delicious. You got the flavours of the chicken, the pinto beans and the filling rice. The salsa added a bit of fresh crunch and zing as well. Right, so I have made it back to my hotel. So the total cost of that meal was £9.95. So if you take that away from the £42.30 I had from before, I'm left with £32.35 for tomorrow. And I think that should be enough to get me into Edinburgh Castle and pay for breakfast as well. I think we need to try out the coffee machine.
It looks like we only have espressos. So espresso it is. And there it is, the espresso.
It's pretty strong. Good morning, so it's now the next day, and what was my stay like at the Royal Scots Club, Edinburgh? Well, it was really nice actually. The bed was nice and comfy, I had a really good sleep, the room was a good size and decorated well. They even had slippers in the room, which is a plus, as I always like having slippers, because sometimes I'm not too sure about how clean the floor is, so it's better than walking around with socks or bare feet. They gave you a set of bathrobes too, which was great, and a coffee machine, which I made use of. £145 was a little bit expensive, but it was cheaper than some travel lodges for the same day that I booked it for. So all in all, a good stay. Right, I still have £32.35 left of my budget. I've got a couple of activities to do today, but first, let's get some breakfast. For breakfast, I decided to go to a place called Rabbi's because it's a nice little cafe on my way to my first activity, so why not drop in for a bite to eat. I went for a cup of tea and a bacon and egg toasted sandwich, which was delicious. The egg was nice and soft and the bacon was meaty. So the total cost of that meal was £7, which means I have £25.35 left.
let's go check out the Edinburgh Castle. And I've made it in, so tickets were actually sold out online and at the gate. But one of the staff gave me a tip and said you can buy tickets from the tour buses, which I did, and they turned out to be cheaper than buying them online. So a useful tip, if they're sold out online, get them from the tour buses.
So Edinburgh Castle is one of the oldest fortified places in Europe, with a history as a royal residence, prison and fortress. The views are supposed to be amazing from here.
I've only been in here a couple of minutes and it's already incredible. So that was Edinburgh Castle, and it's definitely worth visiting. I can see why it's the #1 attraction in Edinburgh. The views are amazing, there's so much to do and see, and one of the best tips of all is to buy a ticket from one of the tour buses, as they're a little bit cheaper than online. So the total cost of my visit there was £18.50. So my remaining budget for today is £6.85. There's still one activity left to do. Let's make our way over there. And here it is, Arthur's Seat. That's the name of the highest point of this hill, which used to be a volcano, believe it or not. Now I think it's quite a long way up and I think I need some supplies. So let's go to the nearest shop, use the last bit of my budget, get a drink and maybe a chocolate bar to get me up there. I've got my Iron Brew, I've got my Snickers, let's head up to the top. So it looks like that's the top right there, that's Arthur's Seat. Let's make our way up there. I'm getting tired already, I think I need to take my jacket off and have a sip of Iron Brew. I'm ready to carry on. The views are already looking really incredible and we're not even halfway there yet. Check this out. So it looks like that's the path up there, that really steep zigzagging path that goes all the way up to the top, and then you go along to Arthur's Seat right there. You need to be pretty fit to be able to do this trail. It's quite tiring and really steep. Not long to go, it's just there, but from anywhere you go, you get amazing views. I've made it to the top. Let's finish off the Iron Brew and the Snickers. And I've made it back down safely to the bottom again. So that was a big trek to get up there, but you do get some amazing views of the whole of Edinburgh, 360 views all around, so I think worth it for that. So that ends my 24 hours here in Edinburgh, and I have to say it's a lovely city. There's loads to do and the people are friendly too. But there is one question I have to ask. Where do I go for my next 24 hours? Comment below. if you like this video and want to see more, click on the thumbs up icon and click on subscribe to come along for the next 24 hours, and I'll see you there.